Alright, this is it.
Godzilla, Mothra, and Rodan all stop. Mothra elegantly glides on the air waiting for Godzilla to act. Godzilla begrudgingly looks up at Mothra and then swishes his long tail.
Okay, keep your eyes open. Between the both of you being able to fly, there's no reason that any of you shouldn't be able to detect if there's danger. Yeah, we know. Do you, Rodan?
Rodan sighs under his breath. "We'll be ready," says Mothra, trying her best to be encouraging.
Alright, just making sure.
And with that, Godzilla dives so smoothly he barely makes a ripple. Rodan marvels at how stealthy he can be when he wants to be. It's been a few minutes since Godzilla dove into the dark depths. Rodan and Mothra hover in a rather awkward silence. Mothra wants to say something, but recognizes the awkwardness. She doesn't understand why Rodan is acting so weird. So, what happened when you guys came here?
Stuff?
Just stuff? Tell me.
Don't feel like it.
Why not? Was it that bad?
We just flew a long way and you want me to tell you a story?
Mothra's heart drops into her nethers. She almost loses the cadence of her wings. Rodan flies a little higher in the sky till he can touch the clouds and coasts. Probably also to get away from Mothra. With an angry beat of her wings, Mothra follows him, parting the fluffy clouds with her elegant span. Okay, Rodan, what's going on with you? Why are you acting so weird?
Why am I acting weird?
Yeah, you!
What are you talking about?
Oh, please don't give me that. You don't even want to look at me. You don't talk to me?
I'm just tired, Mothra. There's nothing to talk about.
I beg to differ. Rodan is annoyed, and what he doesn't tell Mothra is that he's also paranoid that Godzilla could be listening. Even though they are high enough and Godzilla is supposed to be deep in the water by now, Godzilla can sometimes sense agitation, especially if he's looking for it. He also has surprisingly fantastic hearing, although he probably can't hear them across mediums.
Okay, beg all you want.
Rodan, I am still the queen of the monsters.
Like I have a single fuck to give.
Rodan!
Mothra, just drop it!
Mothra just stares at Rodan as he soars away. She follows, refusing to allow him to leave without concluding things. Once again, she flies in front of the fire kaiju, and instead of Rodan getting caught off guard and stopping, he immediately dives down to avoid her and loops back towards flying upward. This incenses Mothra, who takes after him. She screams after him to stop. Mothra is slower of a flyer than Rodan, and even though she's smaller, her soft, sinewy wings make it hard to cut through the air with the speed that she really wants. After Rodan finds an air current, he spreads out his thick and powerful wings that are alight with magma flowing through the veins and allows the air to float under and over his wings, causing him to just soar without moving. When Mothra catches up, she tries to imitate him and fails miserably. She feels like she has to work twice as hard just to stay still and face him. He seems amused and gives her a cold smirk. I just want to talk.
Okay.
What's going on with you?
I really don't know what you mean.
Rodan, I don't understand why you're acting like nothing happened.
Because nothing did happen.
Yeah, but it could have. Rodan rolls his eyes, really not wanting to have this conversation.
So wait, you want me to dwell on it not having happened?
I was hoping we could talk about it. Before Mothra can even form her thoughts, she sees Rodan looking over her shoulder, and when she looks behind her, Mothra sees the island in the sky that Rodan is looking at. Rodan, what is it?
That's the island. The one we got brought to.
What? Without another word, and like lightning, Rodan claps his wingtips together to make a thunder sound and rapidly propels himself straight for the island. Mothra follows. As Rodan quickly approaches the island, he flies up towards it at an amazing speed and glows a hot red. Rodan, what are you doing? Mothra screams out as she notices Rodan speeding up and not slowing down. He's not heading for the surface of the island, but under it. Mothra slows her flight, wondering if Rodan is about to smash his face into the bottom of the island. Rodan's eyes narrow as he feels excessive but welcoming heat envelop his rigid body. Like a super hot and sharp knife through butter, Rodan flies straight through the bottom of the island and reaches to the surface. Dirt and debris fall off of him as though being melted off. For the moment, Mothra is frightened, thinking something bad has happened to him, thinking Rodan committed suicide, but she goes to the top of the island and sees him there. Are you freaking crazy?
What?
What? Why did you... I don't even... Oh my god. Rodan smirks.
Mothra, you are aware that I live in a volcano, right? That I slept inside of one, that I make my home inside of one, under the magma, inside of the earth. Cutting through earth is nothing for me.
Okay, I mean, I guess... I've just never seen that. Okay, what are we doing here? Rodan looks around and Mothra follows his lead. They both realize that the island is empty. I don't like this. Something doesn't feel right. Rodan, let's go. Mothra's instincts are telling her that this is probably not the place they want to be. Although the island feels so quiet, it's also uncomfortably loud.
Rodan, let's go. Get off of me. You can go if you want. I didn't ask you to come along.
Rodan! Alright, you know what? Fine. If you want to do this yourself, fine. Get yourself killed, fine. Whatever. I don't even know why I bothered to come. Ah! Suddenly, out of nowhere, a shadowy figure attacks Mothra.
Mothra!
Get it off! Get it off! Without any hesitation, she automatically uses her God Rays. The thing screams in agony, followed by an attack from Rodan. Mothra rolls over, splaying her wings to steady herself. And when she looks up, she sees Rodan and the thing locked in a heated battle. Rodan viciously mauls the thing as it wraps its viney arms around him. Mothra beats her wings and lands on top of the creature and stabs it right through the shoulder. She does a quiet gasp when it does absolutely nothing.
Stab it! Stab it!
Wait, what? Suddenly, the viney creature is on top of Rodan, strangling him.
Stab it in the head! Stab it in the head!
What, is that gonna kill it? Even as Rodan is being strangled, he can feel his eyes inwardly rolling. Of all the people to get stuck within the situation, why did he have to be stuck with the indecisive person? Doesn't matter, Rodan can handle himself. He gives the creature a dead stare, and suddenly he drives the tip of his beak into the eye socket of the creature and uses his talons to clamp over the creature's throat, throwing it off of him. With a very powerful beat of his wing and a swig of his tail, Rodan is suddenly now straddling the creature, his left talon still clamped around the creature's throat.
Hey, look who it is.
Rodan, who is that? Do you know him?
You can say that.
I'm sorry we had to deal with this battle, but what's going on? Why did you attack us? The kaiju, named Amhaluk, the one who had talked to Godzilla when they were on the island, suddenly relents.
Can you please loosen your talons a bit? Oh, really? Like you loosened your vines when you were around my neck?
Rodan looks over at Mothra, and she nods at him that it's okay and that he should do what Amhaluk asks. Rodan only obliges very slightly.
What happened here? 1 minute, they were here, we were celebrating, and then they were just gone the next. I was laughing with a friend, and then over there...
Amhaluk points to a distant, only a few feet away from Mothra and Rodan. There lied half of a body, still steaming, the upper portion of it completely gone, as though it had been lasered through.
Okay, nice. What did that? I don't know. I didn't see anything. First I thought it was Godzilla, but then there was just pandemonium and panic, and everyone was screaming and running, and it was worse because nobody could see what was attacking us.
Rodan glares at Amhaluk, taking his talon off of the creature. Rodan stands up to his full height, tucking his wings in, and arching his neck in a way that Mothra noticed made him look more regal. She never often sees him like this, but he was trying to look dominant. It drove Mothra insane emotionally. She had so many feelings about Rodan, and in this moment, seeing him act like this, While she was nervous for the other kaiju, she was also very attracted to Rodan. Rodan quickly snaps his beak together.
You pushed me off the island. What? Oh, you don't remember? You don't remember me being tied to a rock and you fucking pushing me off of the island? Oh.
Amhaluk nervously giggles.
Sorry about that. Whatever.
Rodan takes a deep sigh and looks up to the sky.
Alright, we gotta get back down.
Wait, Mothra says, looking at Amhaluk. What's your name?
My name is Amhaluk.
Okay. You said that you didn't see
Mothra, we don't have time for this. Let's go.
I know, just give me a second. You chose to come up here. You said you didn't see what it was. Did you smell it, feel it? Did you...
I'm sorry, I cannot really even explain what took place here. I have never experienced anything like that in all of my life, and I don't ever want to experience it again. I now believe there are worse things to fear than Godzilla.
Rodan is glaring at Amhaluk.
No hard feelings, my friend.
Rodan just stares at him, deadpan, not saying a word. And then a smile creeps up the side of his mouth.
No hard feelings. Thank you. I've already been through so much. I think well, I don't want to keep you.
No problem. I'm sorry about what happened to your friends.
Thank you.
Are you coming?
Yeah, let's go.
Mothra and Rodan spread their wings and fly off the island. Jeez. We're far enough away he can't hear us, right? Unless he has, like, super hearing.
Why does it matter?
Rodan says, flapping, looking straight ahead. What do you think did that?
I don't know.
I mean, you're not the least bit curious? What if whatever did that... I mean, what if there is something dark and scary and you can't explain it or fight it because you can't really see it because it's not really there?
Mother, what the fuck are you talking about?
Nothing. Mothra kept thinking back to her own situation when she was at Kong's residence. Now she's even wondering if it actually happened. Something about what happened to that kaiju on this floating island that they just came from made her remember that. It didn't sit well with her that she didn't have all the information she needed. You think Godzilla's waiting for us?
You can see for yourself, he just surfaced.
Godzilla has surfaced, and he looks around in the sky and waves to Rodan and Mothra, a pair of very large branch-like objects erecting right beside him. Mothra is nervously perplexed until she sees that they're attached to the head of a creature. Wait a minute, I know that kaiju. Mothra and Rodan fly down to meet Manda and Godzilla.
Alright, I don't want to waste any time, so let's just get going.
Yes, I agree.
Damn, Manda, you smell funky on the surface. Is that like a
Godzilla.
symptom of...
Godzilla!
What? Mind your own business. I'm talking to my friend here.
I believe it is gases and pressure being released from the scales.
Gases and pressure? Okay. Not really what I want to hear, but whatever.
My scales, not my rear end.
Uh-huh. Nice save.
When the group is some distance away, still hanging out on the surface, so that Rodan and Mothra can also be part of the conversation, Rodan goes quiet. He's been quiet for quite some time. And suddenly he slows down and stops, beating his wings that are now brightly colored. Mothra is mesmerized by them. What's wrong? Mothra asks, also hovering beside Rodan, and then turning to face him, her having a harder time hovering with all the wind.
I need to get some food, so I'll catch up with you guys in a little bit, okay?
Okay, yeah, sure. Godzilla offers up a tail twitch, but doesn't really pay attention to Rodan. He's in a very heated debate with Manda. Mothra watches forlornly as Rodan flies away. Then she joins into the conversation and talks with Manda. Rodan goes back to the island where Amhaluk was. He flies up along the side with determination and lands on the surface of the island. Amhaluk turns around, his vines swaying.
Oh, hello again. Did you forget something?
Amhaluk asks Rodan.
Yeah. I forgot to ask if you have icy cones. Ah, well, we don't have them in bulk, but I do have some seeds.
Amhaluk goes to a very large boulder and opens it. Rodan didn't even realize that the thing had a compartment. The viney kaiju walks back over to Rodan and gives him the seeds. He puts the bag in front of Rodan, after Rodan doesn't take it. And then Amhaluk watches Rodan just staring at him. Rodan doesn't move, he doesn't say a word, he just stands there, glaring at him. Amhaluk stares back. His nerves begin to quake. What is going on, he wonders. And then the situation becomes all too real when Rodan's eyes start glowing hot, as though lava is about to flow from out of them. Amhaluk quickly whips his root appendages towards Rodan. In a very quick motion, Rodan claps his wings forward. Amhaluk whimpers and wonders why his appendages won't move. Suddenly, there's a very thin line on each of them cutting across that glows yellow, and then it gets larger as he realizes his appendages are falling away from his body. Rodan, with a mighty beat of his wings, had severed them cleanly. Amhaluk steps back, trying to get away from Rodan, but then he realizes he can't move properly, with his vines being cut. All that remains are his viney, stubby feet. Amhaluk, now on his back, trying to still back up from Rodan as Rodan approaches him menacingly on all fours, using his wings as his front legs. Smoke billowing out of his nose like a Taurus, his eyes still glowing like a kiln.
Please, I have nothing against you. I apologize. I deeply apologize for having pushed you off the mountain, please.
What frightens Amhaluk even more is not just the fact that Rodan has turned into this fire beast, the one that has been talked about in lore, the one that he believed that many people made up to scare their young kaiju. It was the unnerving reality that Rodan was not speaking. Amhaluk continues to plead for his life, gasping in total terror. Rodan uses his foot talons and steps on Amhaluk's chest, while the monster tries to wrap his viney tendrils around Rodan and squeezes as hard as he can. Unfortunately for Amhaluk, they sizzle upon contact. Rodan, even in the midst of this, realizes he doesn't get like this often, where his rage pulses through his body, and he becomes the manifestation of the volcano that he slept in. All the tension and frustration has to be released somehow. Amhaluk, in total fear, stares into Rodan's white-hot glowing eyes. Eyes like the sun. Eyes like fire.
You tried to kill the king.
Rodan spoke with the chorus of 1,000 demons.
Yes, but you must understand that my kind and I have tried to survive. Isn't this Godzilla's fight? We were never going to hurt you, and we on purpose loosened your ropes.
Rodan's tongue stuck out of his mouth and licked all around his beak. Amhaluk shivered as he heard sizzling where Rodan's tongue had made contact with his beak.
You're right. I don't want to lie. I know Godzilla can take care of himself.
Rodan, quickly, in the blink of an eye, launches himself into the air and spins so fast that he appears to be a white-hot tornado that quickly disperses into clouds. He then dives back down, spiraling his body, making himself into a fiery drill, and then breaking the sound barrier. In almost an instant, Rodan plummets and cuts straight through the island kaiju. Amhaluk screams no, but it's barely audible over the loud noise of the firestorm that Rodan has now created. As Rodan cuts through the island kaiju, he hears the poor animal roar in pain and fear. It feeds Rodan's rage and delight. Rodan, the Destroyer. takes about 5 minutes for Rodan to all but annihilate the floating island. Clapping his fiery wings together, bits of them having become metallic, he cuts through the narrow side of the island. Earth and bones slide past his face, his body swimming through the thickness of it like sharp, long teeth through soft flesh. When he comes out through the other side, there's something impaled on his beak, something large and black. Amhaluk watches in terror, unable to move effectively. He had thought about jumping off the island, but the island might be able to make it if he gets rid of the devil bird. He would rather risk that possibility than jumping into the ocean with Godzilla down there. Amhaluk never expected this to happen. He more so had expected Godzilla to unleash his beam at the island. That would have been something that he prepared for. What Amhaluk did not prepare for was Rodan. Rodan lands in front of him. Amhaluk instinctively tries to shoot out his vines to impale Rodan, forgetting that Rodan had chopped them off. Rodan, with that bloppy black stuff still stuck on his beak, grabs Amhaluk, who bites fiercely at Rodan's leg, the one dragging him now to the middle of the island.
Alright, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bite you. I did, but listen, Rodan, please, let's talk about this. Let's work together. There's so much I have to offer you that Godzilla cannot. I know you're friends, and I'm not asking you to turn against him, but I can help you. Wouldn't you like to be king? Someday, a lot of people want you to be king.
Rodan stops and looks at Amhaluk. Amhaluk smiles hopefully, taking a hopeful breath. This is all the hesitation he needs.
We didn't tell you before because we wanted to plan it carefully, but we do want you to be king.
Rodan tilts his head, as if he is no longer the Rodan Amhaluk recognized. It's as if he was another creature, one more primal, one more aggressive. Rodan outstretched one of his wings that he was using to walk on, and uses the claw on that wing to take the dark blob off of his beak. The thing was so impaled that it seems to have been holding Rodan's beak shut. The thing is dripping with some sort of thick liquid. Rodan then uses his other hand to grab Amhaluk by the neck. As an involuntary reaction, Amhaluk's mouth flies open in protest. Amhaluk can now see what the thing is. It is the island's heart that Rodan ripped out. Immediately, Rodan slams the heart into Amhaluk's throat so deep, half his arm and part of his wing are inside the kaiju's stomach. Rodan then tosses the kaiju into the pit he made into the island, one so deep. Without appendages, Amhaluk would not be able to escape from. Rodan hovers and unleashes a stream of fire from his mouth. It creates rivers of lava that all flow slowly down towards the center of the pit, where Amhaluk helplessly lies. Amhaluk looks at Rodan, who is about to fly away, an apparition of a flying reptile with demonic horns, glowing hot eyes, and the cracks of liquid fire all throughout his body.
Rodan,
Amhaluk says, in now total despair, knowing what his fate is about to become.
Why are you doing this?
Rodan lands softly on top of Amhaluk, the lava only feet away, and smiles. Rodan leans in sinisterly, his glowing eyes dim for a short moment as he says,
Because I want to. And because it makes me so fucking happy.
Amhaluk looks at Rodan in horror and quickly tries to shimmy up the steep earthy ground. Rodan, with lightning quickness, grabs the viney kaiju and holds him in place. The lava reaches Rodan's wingtip first. It sizzles, but Rodan is immune to the burn.
No, please! Please help! Help!
Amhaluk screams in agony as the lava envelops him. Rodan stares into his eyes as he feels his victim writhing under him, unable to escape, being cooked and roasted alive. Rodan only lets go when Amhaluk stops moving. He flicks the quickly cooling lava off his wings and legs and takes off with a mighty beat of his wings.